Knowing how to reset your Xfinity Gateway settings can be an extremely useful tool if you find yourself in a situation like, for example, you forget your Xfinity Gateway's password to access its settings, or if your Xfinity Gateway isn't functioning properly. Today I'm going to be showing you two different methods for resetting the settings of your Xfinity Gateway, and depending upon the situation you find yourself in, that will dictate which method you use. With that, let's dive right in. I'm going to be showing you the steps on my Xfinity XB8 gateway today. If you have a different model of gateway, honestly, it shouldn't really be a problem. These steps should be almost identical regardless of the model of gateway that you have. This first method of resetting your Xfinity Gateway settings is the fastest, but it's also the roughest as well. What I'm referring to here is performing a factory reset of your Xfinity Gateway. And it's really important to understand before you do this. When you perform a factory reset of your Xfinity Gateway, it will reset all of its settings to essentially back to the state where it was in when you first got the device. So this means Wi-Fi network names and passwords. Those will be wiped out and returned to the default settings. The password for the settings of this Xfinity Gateway. Any static IP addresses that you've assigned. Literally any settings change that you've made to this device will go away when you perform a factory reset. So when might performing a factory reset of your gateway be useful? Well, for one, if you have a simple home network and you haven't made many settings changes, then it will be really easy to restore your gateway back to the state it was in before you performed a factory reset. And then on top of that, if you're trying to implement a different functionality for your gateway, for example, and I showed this in a previous video, if you try to put your gateway into bridge mode so that way you can use your personal router with it. I tried to do this and I had trouble doing so until I performed a factory reset of my gateway. And then when I put it into bridge mode, it was working properly. So this is a good option for you if you want to just reset everything and then start fresh. The steps for performing a factory reset of your gateway are actually pretty simple. On the back of the device, there's a button. This button is designed for WPS or Wi-Fi protected setup, but it has different functionality as well. What you can do, if you hold this button for 30 seconds, it will perform a factory reset of the device. So let's go ahead and do that now. After 30 seconds, you'll see the status lights of your gateway start to cycle, and that's because it's going through a factory reset. So let's give it a few minutes and it will come back to steady state. After a few minutes, you'll get the steady status light, and this means the device is ready to be set up again. Because you performed a factory reset, you'll have to go through the Xfinity Gateway setup process again using the Xfinity app. I've detailed that in another video if you need that for reference, but that pretty much covers the first way of resetting your gateway settings. This next method for resetting your gateway settings has a little bit more finesse. It's not as rough as the factory reset because it gives you the option of resetting specific settings for your gateway without resetting all of the settings. With that, let's jump right in. In order to do this, what we have to do is we have to access the advanced settings of your Xfinity Gateway. The first thing we have to do is go into the Xfinity app on a mobile device. So let's start there. The first thing we have to do is go into the Xfinity app to access our gateway settings. If you haven't downloaded this app yet, go ahead and do that, and then we're going to log in. If it asks you to log in, you want to use the email address and password that's associated with your internet plan, and then you'll get to this homepage here. From here, we want to go into the Wi-Fi settings at the bottom. Then we're going to select View Wi-Fi Equipment. From here, we want to hit Advanced Settings. Now, performing a reset of your gateway settings, this is more of an advanced step. So what we have to do is we have to enable the Gateway Admin tool, which gives us access to the more advanced settings of your gateway. To do that, we go into Gateway Admin tool, and then we just want to turn this on. So we'll turn this switch on and hit save. This turns on the Gateway Admin tool, and it allows us to access the more advanced settings. We'll be doing that on my laptop, so let's jump over there now. In order to access the Wi-Fi settings of your gateway, you first want to make sure that your device is connected to the Wi-Fi network that your gateway is broadcasting. So for me, down here in the Wi-Fi settings, network from home gateway, that's the right device, so we know we're all set there. Next, we want to open up an internet browser. So let me open up Chrome. From here, you want to access the location of your gateway settings. When you turned on the Gateway admin tool, it gives you instructions to do this. But essentially what we want to do is type in HTTP 10.0.0.1 and hit enter. Now we can log into the advanced settings of our gateway. What we want to enter is for the username, we want to type admin. And then for the password, if you haven't set a custom password, the default password is listed on a sticker on the bottom of your gateway. I will admit it's a little bit confusing because it's listed as the default password for the Wi-Fi network that your gateway is broadcasting. But what I've found is this password is the same for your advanced settings as well. So just type that in. Or if you've set up a custom password, go ahead and type that in now and log in. Now we're in the advanced settings of our gateway, and what we need to do if we want to reset some of its settings, we want to select troubleshooting here on the left-hand side, and then reset restore gateway. And you can see right off the bat here, there are a lot of options. For example, if you want, you can just perform a basic restart of your gateway. In addition to that, your gateway is serving as both a modem and router in your home network. If you're having problems with the Wi-Fi, you can either reset the Wi-Fi module or reset the Wi-Fi router portion of your device entirely. This can clear things up if you're having problems with either connecting to the Wi-Fi network or having slow performance over Wi-Fi. Now, if you want to reset some of the settings of the device, you can perform a factory reset if you'd like, which is the same method that I showed you with the button on the back of the device. Or if you want, you can reset just the Wi-Fi settings of your gateway. So this will reset your Wi-Fi security settings that you set, your Wi-Fi network name, and your Wi-Fi password. So this is obviously a lot easier and softer than performing a factory reset of your gateway. If you just want to reset your router settings, you can do that here. In addition, you can reset the battery connection. I can't imagine most people have a battery backup in their home network, but this is an option through the advanced settings as well. So as you can probably tell right now, this is a great use case if you have a complex home network, you've made a lot of changes to your gateway, and you just want to reset a portion of them. In other words, you want to prevent from having to go in, make all of those changes that you previously made all over again. It can save you time if you only reset a portion of your gateway settings. I'd love to see in the comments section what method of resetting your gateway settings you chose. Did you go with the more brute force method with a factory reset? Or did you only reset a portion of your settings through the advanced admin tool? As always, thanks for checking out this episode from Network from Home, and we'll catch you on the next one.